Hey. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Push the table back. Cheers. Better.
I see the whites of your eyes.
Don't watch it, she'll start shooting.
What are you hiding?
See, she's got it.
I don't think those are reserved using.
At 6. I'll take their phone. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Keeps coming up.
There's an extra chair. I think I can get y'all in one more chair.
Stand two, I said.
Yes, I did. Sounds like a job. Okay, people say, you should, this is
Running over here.
See if I can find one more.
but I'm still saying. Humphrey's executive, it's like, that was about 70. That was pretty place by trying to slow it down. What they were doing was just going, Social Security month. It took a little while to recover. Somebody said, Carol. So, if they should be
I can't even run curse out, and I can barely make
It's true, right? He's got a he's got a
There was a.
There's a quote by guy. He was 17.
Let me know when y'all are ready. I think I'm actually when you get ready for our Yes, it is.
So, there's well, there's a whole legal.
Yeah, it doesn't really have, yeah. I think he got that set. It's like, is that there's power available? Well, I was just like, how you doing? Well, we got rain last night. Right. But it's not like dry. Yeah, when it started raining, we had the sprinkler going in the front yard when it started raining hard. And we looked at each other and we were like, let it go. Yeah. Are we with your rock band? No, not at this time. You tried to let your hair burn in the backyard. I will be very soon. But usually Judge waits for the Rangers to tell us the station advise us. Those are fire chiefs. It's probably goes around. I'm just Well, I don't think there's any.
Maybe play with it.
Oh, yes, thank you.
So I could never.
That's not obvious.
Can you start looking at the rolling your eyes? So I get it. Really good at it.
I just want to make sure we have something for Keith. No, I know.
I didn't see that.
Right, yeah.
Before we start,
I'm hollering, but I'm trying not to holler. Can everybody hear me in the hallway there? Let me move a little closer. Okay, I have a stack of forms for public comment here on the table. If you would like to make a public comment, please come forward and fill this form out. We've got to have it filled out prior to the 9:30 to ensure that your voice is heard. Thank you.
This has been a public service announcement.
That was good resonance.
We buy a megaphone for
thank you.
I mean, they're not all. That's the main Right. I got yours. I got it.
We've got several cameras, 1, 2, 3.
But this
My son has. Oh, yeah. Get your shit right.
that one.
They've been bouncing in and out of here.
Yeah, there's
Over
okay.
here, something like that.
I'm sorry, just say every.
I'm afraid if I go out and put my shirt on, I might not get back in. It's all the way to the elevator. I'm gonna hold it up. I love it, thank you. I do.
I'll get it.
Well, it's what they go back.
Yesterday afternoon, we did it. So I didn't have any words. So there's some formatting issues. I'm open, like it's just me. Yeah, that's the one. That was no, I have two. Maybe it is.
11 is poor, but he also has another one he just sent me this morning.
Did it change?
10 is that red, shining link.
Okay, there, maybe this is.
Should have one that does not have 11 on it for Foreman. I just got it this morning. That's it right there.
So which one?
Both of them. He sent that to me Sunday, Saturday.
Right, okay, well, this
Then
is
I got
what
that one this morning.
I'm getting Gold Star thing mixed up.
No, Gold
That
Star,
side.
yeah. We're good.
Be very happy. We have.
I know we were going to that end. Second list. Which makes sense.
Mr. Matthews here, Brother Matthews? Okay. Thank you. Thank y'all for all coming. We'll get to you as soon as we can, for sure. We'll lead us in a word of prayer, and then we'll have the pledges. Most gracious Heavenly Father, just thank you, dear Lord, that we can come today in free society and talk about business of the county and the residents of Leon County. Dear Lord, I pray that we'll always do the right thing and help us to always make those decisions where we do the right thing. Now be with each person that are here, dear Lord, bless their lives. Be with them as they go back to their homes or the business, that they'll have a safe journey back home. Now forgive us where we failed. In Jesus' name pray. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Okay, do I hear a motion that we approve the claims and the claims due minutes and the claims of the lame duck?
Yeah, y'all make a motion to approve the claims and the claim of land up.
Second.
And a minute.
And a minute.
Second by Kyle Workman. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we have a payroll, actually two payrolls, June 26th and July the 10th. Do I hear a motion to say we approve those?
I make a motion to approve the payroll.
Got a motion by Paul, second by TJ. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Before we get into the agenda items and this, that, and the other, and 6 through 10 will be the ones that will be related to the data center issues. We're going to hear from the public comments. We have quite a few. Now, if you're out in the hallway and you don't hear your name, we will make sure that you hear your name to be able to come. So don't worry about it if you're not in here. Okay, the first one is Floyd Fob, and it's a water concerns, increasing utility bills.
Floyd Fob.
You can come right here, sir. Or if you can talk loud, everybody can hear you, that's fine. Okay, whatever, just talk loud.
Okay, concerns about the water and the electric. That's what I'd like to hear, the process y'all would like to go through for the water and the electric. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we have Tina Holyfield, water protection, jobs, taxes.
Yes, sir. I'm here because I'm concerned about the future. 3 of my grandchildren are long enough to be here because it's important to them that this not be allowed. The water usage and the protection of that water is extremely important to us who live, not even in the city, we live in county areas of this county. Because water is so important. If you don't have it, you ain't got anything. Animals, you've got your vegetables, you've got your land. The taxes don't equate to the job. What's going on with tax abatement doesn't equate well to the amount of jobs that are being created by this data center at the end. 40 out of how many jobs that are needed around here for that much tax abatement? I just don't see.
Okay. One thing I forgot to say too, this is 3 minutes, so I mean she was in our time, and so was the first gentleman. But yes, ma'am, thank you. Okay, Carly Hickman, data center and abatement. Now you can go through.
Yeah, you'll have to go.
Is this okay? I'm
Yes, ma'am,
ready.
go ahead.
Okay. I recently heard a speech given by Dr. Megan Mobbs, the daughter of 2 military veterans who became a soldier herself. She spoke of growing up in a home where the walls told stories. One painting depicted a battle during World War II, showing the men of the 82nd Airborne Division crossing a river under German fire, paddling in canvas boats toward a bridge that had to be taken if the continent was to be liberated. The operation would later be remembered as a bridge too far, noble ambition that exceeded the limits of circumstance. But in her home, that painting was never presented as a monument to failure. It was a monument to the attempt. It taught her that there are moments in history when free people do not get to calculate only the odds of success. They must also measure the cost of doing nothing. In the early 19th century, Ned Ludd did just that. He began a movement commonly known as being anti-tech, anti-progress, and behind the times. Now, anyone who dares to first reckon with the ultimate cost of things designed to reshape the world before adopting them is called a Luddite, a lazy way to dismiss and discredit anyone who dares to question the supposed wonders of the new age. The truth is that the Luddites were not fighting against machines. They were fighting for a way of life, one that they deeply valued. Skill over speed, craft over output, strong community over centralized power. The Luddites painted another picture for us, not of success. They did not stop the Industrial Revolution, but something far more enduring. The first principled stand against powerful technological overreach, which continues to inspire millions. What kind of picture are we painting today? I hope that it is at least one of courage, one of hope, even if not success. May we at minimum consider Henry David Thoreau's warning that it is best to avoid the beginnings of evil, for the evil that men do lives after them. It lives into the future, which for me as a mother is no longer an abstraction. It is 3 children whom I dearly love, Sam, Charlie, and Layla. What picture are we painting for them?
Thank you. Let me stop right here. I need to get a few people up here for the agenda because they need to leave. They've got jobs to go to, and then we'll resume back to the public comment. I need is Mr. Foreman here? Mr. Foreman? Foreman. Okay, he's not here.
Yes.
Yeah, is he here? Okay, good. Number 11. Keith, let him through there.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning.
I thank y'all for putting me on the agenda and letting me come before you once again. Again, regarding the proposed seismic or the upcoming seismic survey. I have provided, since the last meeting, provided copies of the leases to Keith Cook that involve the property, the county property therein. I emailed a new copy of the permit. The only change is in the conditions we're in. They're requiring us now to get a 1-year window. We should be done long before that, but that's what the client is expecting us to put on the permits moving forward. Let's see, the county probably should have received a certified letter this past week stating it's a notice of intent from Silverthorne Geophysical and Comstock that they are planning on proceeding with the seismic survey. And then early this morning, I was emailed some language that included case law, wherein the Texas courts have recognized that seismic surveys are viable under the dominant mineral estate statute of the state of Texas. And so I guess with that, I mean, I'm hoping everybody got a chance to see that. If not, I have copies of it. I would like to answer any questions. We would really like to work with the county. Comstock and Silverthorne Geophysical never like to go to court, but it appears that they are willing to authorize us to do such if we need be.
Keith, you've been talking to them off and on.
This is, we discussed it last time, they're the dominant state, they have these rights, we just voted no because y'all were worried about how much it was gonna mess up the expo grounds with all the horses and if you're digging holes. And I think there was just a lot of concerns built around where it was gonna be done, but they have the right. This was essentially, it's like anything else, like a pipeline or whatever, you know, you negotiate the damages or however you wanna go about it, but they'll get through eventually. But this is a negotiation, if you wanted that, or however, whatever would be valuable.
Do you, if it's the same letter I got at my house, it makes claims that you have authority from the mineral right owner without providing that authority. Did you provided that authority?
I provided the leases to Keith, which is the authority in itself.
That's my reading.
Yeah, that's what I didn't get when they threatened me.
Fair.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know why they're not providing leases. Normally, in most jobs, they do that, but on this one, they have said it's not required by law, and so they are not going to do it. Makes my job that much harder. I wish they would, but
Well,
So,
can we mitigate the issues with the holes that you're worried about? I mean, I get it. Is there something we can have them do to keep that from being a problem for you?
I had looked at this last night, and I said that y'all broke it down from last meeting, y'all broke it down into two parts, which was the main grounds, and then there was a second one with the two slivers.
Correct.
In the entrance, but also those two slivers included what little spot the master gardeners have up there, which obviously they're working on buildings, containers, and gardening there, so, and there would only be like one shot on their spot, it looked like. But I was in the agreement, myself, I was gonna let y'all have the two spots up there going in the road, but still stay off of the contiguous expo property for the fact that it looks like close to over 100 shots, 150 shots.
there's quite a
And
few.
that's 150 holes out there, that's about 4 inches by 80 foot deep. And since that is the expo facility for livestock, cattle, horses, people, and everything else, and we shoot close to 200 shots out there, 4 inches around, 80 foot deep. I know you're gonna fill them back in and they pack back up, but with rain, they go right back down. And that is in my opinion, Keith, that's still a liability issue for us out there, for people and livestock on our grounds, stepping in that hole once it caves in and having issues with livestock and the people out there, so.
Is there a way to mitigate that? I hear you. Is there something they can do? Are you filling it with bentonite, or what do you?
Bentonite and gravel and the cuttings from the hole.
How do you keep it from being a tripping hazard or breaking a horse's leg?
In most cases, now I'm gonna be honest with you, there are cases where it may settle again once that's in there. And we will come back and remediate that. I've got a damage clause on the back of this that speaks to any damages. It lists several and then has et cetera behind it, but any damages we do stand good for. I've got the county is listed as additionally insured on our COI. So, I mean, that's,
if somebody's horse getting a broken leg is not, that's not worth
Sure.
an insurance certificate, right? So,
Sure.
Is there a way to, maybe set up a periodic inspection from y'all post your work, so that we can be assured that you will be right on top of it as soon as there is a settlement, if there is any?
what usually happens with this is we come in and we do our seismic survey, and then we will settle and assess damages at that point. For usually, on average, I don't have this in writing, on average, up to 2 years after that, if there's any damages, You contact us, we then refer it back to the oil and gas company that's got the lease, which in this case is Comstock, and then their remediation people will come and take care of it. I don't know, what their timetable is. Everyone's is different, but that's how that has to be handled, because we'll be moved on to
You'll be
another.
on to the next. No, I
Yeah.
get that. I'm just trying to figure out if
Yeah.
there's ever been an agreement in place to have a quarterly inspection for 2 years to see if we get any settlement,
Right.
so that y'all are on top of it and not putting the burden on us or the individual person that's riding their horse.
Right. I tell you what I can do is if Keith can draft some language, I will be glad to present it and see about getting it approved. I don't have the authority to approve it, and I can't make any promises, but I'll be glad to present it.
I'm just trying to see if it's something we
Sure.
have seen before.
Sure.
Well, another thing I have some concerns on the Expo is we're, in the next 6 to 8 weeks, we're constructing a 400-foot tower out there on the southwest corner of this property. And those pylons for that tower, those piers in the ground, they're 80 feet. They're 8 foot wide and they go down 80 feet, which is exactly the depth of your charges.
Sure. They're gonna be concreted in?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there'll be a 300-foot buffer zone on those. Let me stress that in the area up where this is, the southern tip of our project is just south of Centerville. And our surveyors are expected to start there with their preliminary hazard surveys sometime in the next 2 to 3 weeks is what we're being told. We don't have an exact date because they're finishing up another project. It's going to take at least, I'm guessing, another 8 to 10 weeks for our surveyors, preliminary surveyors, to get up in that area. I have a condition in here where, let's see, Mapper will meet with landowner to identify infrastructure. At that point, those locations would be identified, and we can then install our buffer even if your construction has not begun. So that way we could put in our proper 300-foot buffers on those items.
So you take a tower right over there on that 854 spot, down in the corner, and it's taking in close to 5 acres, and then you stay 300 foot away from that, well, then you're gonna be up there close to the RV park, and once you stay 300 foot of that, and then you stay 300 foot away from the buildings, what do you have left up there?
There might not be much at all, but they're going to want to put in a source point wherever they can that's outside of a proper buffer zone.
The only thing that I would let them have, Joey, is up there, what we call our livestock pasture out front for the stray livestock, and the 2 spots up there by the road. Where we have people at 365 days a year, I would rather not have any shots there.
Well, like I said, if we can buffer some of that out, the surveyor will have to come in and identify those objects, and then the engineers identify the type of buffer that goes in place.
Well, this aerial here is, I mean, there's 2 more buildings and some other stuff that's not on here.
Sure.
Plus,
And that,
the tower site goes, so
Right.
that pretty much, and once you stay 500 foot away from the water well, that.
300, I'm sorry.
Sorry, 300
300.
foot. And then you got the pipeline, but once you set back for all that, pretty much that whole west end is just,
And that may be the case. We don't know until our surveyor gets out there.
All right, well, I completely hear your concerns. I think if we can figure out a way to mitigate it, it doesn't sound like we have much of a choice. We need them to mitigate it. And I don't care if they've got to put a pipe baller around it so that nobody falls in the hole, or a cone over it, or whatever. And I'm not a horse guy, so I defer to you on that, but I certainly understand the impact of tripping and having a horse fall and break a leg or whatever. Like, that's not acceptable.
can you come back with a definite answer? Well, I will provide you, I will have, Morgan, if we can email Mr. Foreman, the spot where the tower is gonna go on that grounds, and then you need to update this aerial with those other 2 buildings that are in place, and then come back with a map of exactly, I read your email, and it says that obviously where all you have these holes on here won't be there, because obviously it's going right on top of the building, parking lot, and other things. Can you come back with a definite, this is exactly where every shot on this?
I cannot until the surveyors come, but what I can do is I can add a condition in here that the landowner, the county, will receive a copy of the post-plan map, which is created after the surveyor meets with the landowner.
Before y'all mobilize?
Before we mobilize, exactly. So you can see where everything is, and I can probably, we can probably do something where we can mark or monument the source points.
Could we retain a reasonable objection to any one or more holes? In other words, if you bring that back and we say, look, these are okay, but this one's, we have this objection, it's a reasonable objection, and you guys say, okay, we'll take that one off. Could we?
Sure.
Could we have something like that, Keith? You see what I'm saying?
I do.
Like a reasonable objection?
We can work with something like that, exactly.
That's fair.
So,
TJ and Kevin, y'all just kind of bullet point the things y'all think are very important out there. And we'll make
Yeah,
sure
I'm
we
gonna
have
defer to
that.
him. I mean,
And we'll start putting it in
he's
like
the-
the memorandum.
But I think
Did you
that,
take the tower spot? Obviously, I believe, I firmly believe, I mean, knowing what's out there, when you got the other two buildings, and then we've got the RV park, the tower spot, the water well, when we stay there 300 foot from all that, I don't, from the parking lot back to the west, I don't see any more than 3 or 4 or 5 shots on the whole thing that could be applicable, and that would be close to the very close west edge fence line. But out in the stray livestock part up front, there's, until we pick up cattle off the road and haul out there, there's not a whole lot out there, you know, so.
what'd you call it? You called it the post, what did you? call it?
Post-plan map,
Post-plan map.
yes.
Like how much in advance do you get that document?
We can generate those usually about a week or two after, they have to be mapped out, and then the engineers have to approve them. And then that usually takes about a week to 2 weeks after the surveyor meets. And that's long before we're gonna mobilize anything or put any holes
So
in the
we'd
ground.
have a little bit of time to react to it?
Sure, absolutely. And I'll be your point of contact. I can meet with you folks out on site, whatever's best.
Not only that, we need to schedule it to where we make sure, yes, we can meet out there on site, but we need to definitely make sure that we have a court meeting that it will be at prior to, because we can't make any decisions outside this room.
Okay,
So when that comes back, if there's any adjustments that need to be made,
We'll have to have it on. the
we need to
agenda.
have it
Yeah.
on the agenda to make sure that
that's reasonable.
we've got it done. So
Yeah.
if the timelines doesn't match up, you're gonna have to make it match up with our court dates.
Okay, we can
So
figure something
I
out.
distracted myself. Post-plan what?
Post-plan map.
Map.
Mr.
Or
Foreman,
actually, excuse me, let me rephrase that. Post-plan source point map.
Okay.
I'm so used to our terms, we shorten it, so.
and we won't be able to act on this today.
Okay, well, what I would respectfully, for the record, request, and it's up to y'all, is that we do a conditional approval depending on being able to work out these issues, subject to being able to.
Well, if he's not gonna be able to send us a map until they survey,
And we can't survey until we have a signed permit. For liability reasons, we can't get on anyone's
Question,
property.
You got your permit, you got permit 340, but you sent me 767 also.
Yes,
It's not here.
it's
It's
here.
they're side by
It's-
side.
They're both in here.
No.
Well, they're on what Tammy sent us.
there was a second email for 767. I wanted to be sure that the attachments weren't too big to keep it from going through, is why I sent two separate
These two
emails.
contracts are both for 340.
They're both 340. Keith, did you get?
Permit 340. Both of them.
I sent, she just handed me, what I passed along to you is what you
Right,
sent us.
it's right, it was in this envelope.
I didn't look at it until she.
Oh, no, that's a certified, okay, I'm talking about the email I sent this morning. The certified, for 767 went out of the office on Friday, and I referenced it in the email that you should be receiving it sometime this week. But there is a certified letter coming.
Yes.
So you know that they have the
They're gonna,
authority?
yes. It's Texas oil.
No, I understand that, I
Everything
just want
else.
to make sure that we're not. So
Yeah,
what
what
would
is
it be conditioned upon?
And before I'm going into anything else, I need to address the court. When y'all make a decision on this.
After we make.
After you make this decision, I'd like to address the court briefly.
So, we need to approve this. Without the approval, he can't do our map.
Right.
Our
Can't do
survey.
it.
It's just a conditional.
And so, but nothing can be done.
Until we come back to court.
Depending on what we decide off of that survey as to whether,
That there will be an approval part.
Yeah.
to-
Correct.
That'll be part of your, part of the motion, whoever makes the motion second.
Post-plan source map.
Correct.
Based on our determination on the post-plan source map. We're going to go forward.
I mean, based on the fact that they have the authority to do it, I'll make the motion to do a conditional approval requiring it to come back to court for final approval.
Got a motion on the floor for,
Reluctantly.
from Kyle, to hear a second to that.
second.
Second by DJ, any more discussion?
And we will.
All in favor, say aye.
We'll get this map provided to you of the tower site.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
And I would like y'all to email before they get there. I would like you to email us another
An updated one.
updated map with everything that's current on it.
Right, now, we don't have access to an updated map with the newer structures on it. That will have to be part of the meeting with the surveyor in order to accurately shoot them in with GPS. Again, all the structures that are on there have to be more accurately shot in with GPS. So everything, including the parking lots and stuff, have to be accurately shot in so that we can get our distances correct.
And we need to make sure that we send him the manager's number so that he can get with the manager every time they arrive on site.
Okay.
Did that for opposed,
Yeah, anybody opposed to that?
Nay.
Like, 4-1. Amy only got one copy, so we're gonna have to keep what we got and send him the original, I guess.
I mean, I don't know that we need to sign that. We're gonna give them a conditional.
Yeah, you don't need to sign anything today.
Oh, okay, I thought you said we did, okay.
No, sir, no, not until we have final approval, but this way I can go back to my people and say, look, we've got conditional approval, I'll get whatever language we want to try to add about doing the mitigation on the holes. And it helps things on our end so that the legal that does whatever they want to when they want to can then look it over and approve it or work with Keith to get some satisfactory language.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we have number,
Just as a heads up, there's concern about open meeting issues because of the capacity that we're out there. Just in the future, if we do, and I expect y'all, if there's any anticipation, that we may have to have this in the county court. We don't have to provide television and everything, but we want to make it as accessible as possible to the public. And so I
Do we
just
need to
don't-
relocate today?
I think there's issues if we tried to relocate today because of notice issues, that if someone came here after and didn't know we left, and they could say we didn't get proper notice where they would be. And that's the problem, is we don't know. We moved here because we've been getting more than we, the last 5 years. If 5 people showed up that weren't on the agenda, that was a unique situation. So, just giving a heads up for the future, I just wanted to double check because I know people are concerned, they're not getting to hear everything that's going on.
okay, well, first of all, I had court next door. I checked that last night to see if
Yes,
we
we
could
got
use
that.
that, and it was still on. I was gonna move over there.
I was thinking upstairs, maybe, in our courtroom.
Oh, well,
That's a bigger courtroom.
could have.
Yeah.
but I did check on that.
And Judge, I think,
Okay.
I'm gonna ask that we go back to public comment. I know that there's people that have to go to work, but there are people that are citizens here that need to go back, that may
Well,
wanna go back to work too. So I think that we should prioritize
That's not a
citizens.
problem. If y'all wanna do it that way, that's fine.
I think we should.
All right. TF Stern.
Here, sir.
Data centers, concern pertaining to long-term effect of water, noise, et cetera. Here you go. Here you go. Mr. Stern? Yeah, go ahead.
I would like to express my gratitude to the posted in the handout that was printed for us, many of those concerns need to be validated by the court here. And I would hope that your concerns are expressed in similar fashion as you just did with this last speaker, where your details are not just a little bit refined, but refined to the point where the public will be satisfied that a quality meeting was held, that the answers to those questions are solid. Because we're concerned about the quality of our water, not just over the next year or two, several years. We've been told through other council meetings across the state that their water quality has gone down, that their aquifer access has gone down, that certain people's wells, which have been working fine, no longer function because the aquifer's lower now and they have to re-drill. Little things like that, but the electrical accessibility for everybody is going to be strained by these new data centers. And we need to have answers there as well. I'm concerned about cattle walking into a hole just as much as you are and breaking a leg. Most of my neighbors have horses, they have cattle, and that's a major investment for them. And some of these people probably are here, but they lack the wherewithal to come here and spend their time here because they're busy taking care of their ranches and putting up fences, doing things like that. We don't want to worry about having a data center that is going to destroy the peace and tranquility of Leon County. Anyway, don't want to go over time, sir.
There you go.
Would you, as a commissioner's court, put as much effort into validating the data center's request, which I don't think can be done, sir? Anyway, why would we offer them a tax credit abatement if they're gonna make so much money? They wouldn't worry about adding that cost of tax into their cost of doing business.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Okay, we have Daniel McCausland, Data Center Abatement.
I talk loud, I don't yell. I put coffee in it. Oh, good morning, Commissioners, Judge Ryder, and Leon County. It's good to see so many people show up. I know everybody in this room can feel the tension right now. Our community is worried about what's coming, and our local leaders, y'all, are taking a lot of heat for it. I want to start off by sincerely thanking Commissioner Bean, Commissioner Foley, and Judge Ryder. You've been to the meetings, you've heard the people, and you've told us individually on separate occasions you will not vote for tax abatements on these projects. Judge Ryder, you've been especially clear that these developments aren't good for Leon County, and we truly appreciate it. We're counting on you to keep your word. In Matthew 5:37, Jesus tells us, let your yes be yes, let your no be no. Anything more than that comes from evil. We are trusting that your no on these abatements is solid because we know you are all good Christian men. Things are starting to change at the state level too. I brought a copy of Governor Abbott's letter from June 10th to the Public Utility Commission. I gave a copy to Amy. The governor is finally acknowledging the real damage these massive data center projects are doing to rural Texas. He wants to end sales tax exemptions, tax incentives, and he's calling for a real change in their light and noise controls to protect neighbors and property values. This tells me that our voices are being heard. Which brings us to why we're really here today. We've got a multi-billion-dollar company in this room asking us taxpayers to help foot the bill when they come in and change our county forever. They want tax breaks to drain our water, overload our power grid, and reshape a way of life our families have built for over 200 years. They are asking us to subsidize the destruction of Leon County. We refuse to finance the ruin of the place we love. We're standing up, we're locking arms, and we're saying, not here, not now, not ever. We believe in free enterprise, but we believe in basic fairness. There's an old saying that goes, your right to swing your fist ends where my nose begins. It's time a few of these corporations learn the Texas version. Your right to make a profit ends where our land, our water, our peace of mind, and our fence lines begin.
Daniel, wrap it up.
Oh. If the governor of Texas is ready to start reining in these corporate giveaways, then Leon County should lead the way, not follow. We cannot and should not write a blank check to a company that sees our homes, families, and heritage as nothing more than numbers on a balance sheet. Commissioners, Judge Riders, y'all told us you'll tell them no. When this company gets up to speak, y'all show them what rural Texas backbone looks like. No special deals, no exemptions, no selling our homes and families for corporate profits. Thank you.
Debbie Frank, Data Center Tax Vacancy.
I'd like to thank the Commissioners for allowing us all to speak today. Can everybody hear me okay?
Speak up.
Okay, now, what kind of Texas do we want? What kind of Texas do we want for ourselves, for our children, and for our grandchildren? I think all of us live here or moved here because we want peace of mind, freedom, and we don't want to work for Silicon Valley. Our Texas administration and their billionaire donors have rolled out the red carpet for hyperscale data centers from Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Oracle, and foreign players like UAE's G42 and Belcom from the UK. They've handed out billions in tax breaks while Texans lose water, farmers lose land, and face skyrocketing utility bills. This is not economic development. It's corporate welfare that sacrifices our communities, our water, and our future for AI chatbots and crypto mining data centers. Texas should not give away our land, our water, and our tax base so trillion-dollar companies can cool computer servers. If data centers want Texas taxpayer support, they should meet Texas public interest standards first. And I just want to ask you, when our water goes dry, where are y'all going to get it from? We cannot make more water. We cannot put more water into the aquifer. Please stand up for your residents and our community and our way of life.
Thank you. Okay, Carol Milder, Data Centers and Abatement.
Thank you. For the 50 years of my career, I was a realtor and a real estate appraiser. So I'm speaking from a different viewpoint on this. We're seeing the data centers come in and pay up to 300% above property values. And what it does is, why would someone pay that much more for something when they're willing buyer, willing seller? This is not really willing buyer, willing seller when you're giving somebody a life-changing amount of money for their land. And what you're doing is you're impacting the next door neighbor. I've heard that there's a lot of people in our county that are for the data centers, and this is a big grouping of people. I just want you to feel free to raise your hand if you know people that are saying the data centers are good. So, I mean, we're a sampling. And they say when one person shows up, there's probably 10 to more people that can't come because of work, children, family, whatever. So this sampling of people with one person that is for data center is a sampling of Leon County and how we feel about these data centers coming here. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Michael Rice, tax abatement.
There are lots of polls on how people feel about data centers, and the numbers are all over the place. But one thing they agree on, a majority of rural Texans strongly oppose them. Leon County is no exception. Over the last 9 months, we've learned that your power to stop these projects is very limited. But you hold one very powerful tool, the tax abatement. And granting one isn't just an open invitation to come, it's rolling out the red carpet. Some of you have told me more than once that I don't understand how abatements work. They aren't incentives. You collect the same amount of money either way. So let me be clear. I understand them quite well. I recently worked with a financial controller to check my math. I built a calculator. I added depreciation. I posted it online so anyone can run the numbers themselves. And no matter how you run them, you're giving away tens of millions of dollars in tax revenue. Your best argument for this is that the smaller number that you collect stays flat for 10 years or longer every time you renew the deal. But here's the problem with telling us that it's not an incentive. If it changed nothing, if you really do collect the same money, then why is this company sitting in front of you today begging for it? They know exactly what it's worth. So do I, and so do you. And here's the thing. There's no legitimate reason to grant one. We shouldn't have to pay a company to be a good neighbor. If a project needs millions of dollars in tax breaks just to promise not to destroy our peace, our quiet, and the property values of the people around it, that's a bad project for this county. We should not have to buy our own peace and quiet with our tax dollars. If this company is going to come, the citizens of this county deserve every single dollar it brings. And if that makes your job of budgeting a little harder, suck it up. Balancing the budget is your job, and giving away millions of dollars to make it easier is irresponsible. Thank you.
Thank you. Sylvia Guzman. Water, aquifer, and tax and AI centers.
Hi, so I live on the Hilltop Lakes area, which is an area that's not really spoken about that much, but there's also the Queen City Aquifer, and the Sparta Queen City Aquifers, which sits above the Wilcox-Carrazzo aquifers. Much more fragile, it's much more sandy in its terrain. And so it's because, and the water therefore is actually even much more pure. And so we have a fragile natural habitat that runs all along Leon County. It's predominant in the western side of Leon County, but this is a very fragile, some plants grow there that don't grow anywhere else in the world. And we are, they cannot defend the drilling in there, that this will not affect this aquifer because of its fragility, could possibly collapse entirely because it's a sandy soil. The interesting thing about that is that we have seismic studies now ramping up, because now it's just been announced East Texas has a much higher oil and gas content than we even realized again. This was just 2 weeks ago, this announcement was made. So fracking is going to be ramping up. We're also going to be doing more seismic studies. There's also issues with now, testing for electric increases, and so building those kind of things, because they're already ahead of the curve trying to get ready for these data centers. So I've heard so many people like, well, you telling us we have to suck it up. I got news for you. When the bottom falls out of an aquifer, there ain't much left to suck up. Okay? And we may end up with contaminated water and if not worse. I can't even fathom what we lose all our natural resources, our plants and animals die, our fishes die. This can happen without and no one can guarantee that it will not happen. That's the problem. Everyone can, bully you into thinking that, oh, well, that won't happen. Then I've even told, oh, well, that won't happen because when they drill, the sand goes in concentric circles and it automatically closes up itself naturally. You can't guarantee that when it's a fragile aquifer to begin with. And so there is much more to this issue than people are giving us credit for understanding. And that is what's an insult to all of our intelligence that have lived here for so long to protect our natural resources that they know. I mean, there's aquifers that are right now in the Panhandle all the way to Oklahoma, Ogallala, which has been in place for many, many hundreds of years. It's going dry. It's literally drying up. And so we need to protect our fragile aquifers, and we need to make sure that our commissioners do not fall for this atrocity that they're trying to put on us. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have Lisa Williford, and that's Data Center Tax Abatement.
That's me.
Okay.
I'll just speak for America's.
That's fine.
I don't speak loud, but I'll try. My name's Lisa Williford. Many of you know my sister, Susan Petty, and thank you for allowing me to speak today. My dad, L.D. Petty, taught me a few things that have served me well throughout my life. One of them was, it never hurts to ask. Another was, never say never. And one more, the hard thing is usually the right thing. When I hear that a moratorium can't even be considered because it's believed to be against the law, I worry that we're closing the door before we've explored every possible option. Many important legal questions have only been answered because someone was willing to challenge the status quo through the courts. I'm not convinced that fear of litigation should keep us from examining every legal avenue available to protect our county. I would also point out that the Texas legislature enacted the Lone Star Infrastructure Protection Act, demonstrating that our state recognizes there are legitimate concerns about protecting critical infrastructure and certain foreign involvement. To me, that says these issues deserve careful legal consideration, not to be dismissed before every option has been explored. Second, I want to address the proposed tax abatement. In my opinion, there is no justification for asking the citizens of a small county like Leon County to subsidize a company or a project worth approximately $34 billion. No amount of doublespeak or rhetoric can convince me that this is in the best interest of our taxpayers. And believe me, there's a lot of rhetoric. There's a lot of learned words that convince us, and they think we don't know what they're saying. We think everything they say is true. I hope that nobody in here thinks that. The decision whether to grant a tax abatement is one of the few tools this court has to influence this project. If Caruso truly believes Leon County is the right place to build, then it should be willing to invest here without asking our taxpayers to subsidize the project. Amen. And if denying the abatement causes the company to reconsider building here, then that tells us the tax incentive was never a small matter to begin with. I would also ask one more question. Before approving any tax abatement, has the county confirmed that all necessary environmental reviews have been completed, including evaluations for any threatened or endangered species or sensitive habitat that could be affected by this project? If those reviews have been completed, I believe the public deserves to know the results before any incentives are granted. Without specific numbers and clear evidence demonstrating that this decision benefits the taxpayers of Leon County, I believe this tax abatement does not serve us well. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, Donna Hull, Data Center Tax Abatement.
Good morning. My name is Donna Hull, and I live in Precinct 3, at the beginning of County Road 387. The massive data center complex that is filing for a reinvestment zone and tax abatement today will possibly be built directly across from my house. The future of life down County Road 387 has weighed heavy on our residents, especially after being told, oh, there's no need to worry. It's just going to be an energy substation. You as a group will be faced with a big decision in the near future, one that will affect many residents. 1, the reinvestment zone, and 2, the tax abatement. 1, the reinvestment zone. Texas Code 311 states that for a parcel of land to qualify for a reinvestment zone, it must be underdeveloped, obsolete, or detrimental to public health and safety. Our own county policy states that the planned zone will not be a hazard to public safety and will not create adverse impacts to adjacent properties. This will 110% affect my property in more ways than I care to think about. And every time I look at that beautiful land across from me, I cannot think of one criteria that qualifies it for a reinvestment zone. Now the tax abatement. I am a small business owner, and excuse me if I get a little emotional, and a resident that has seen our restaurant taxes increase. I have even seen the taxable market value compared to the purchase price of my own place increase 314% since 2017. I officiate volleyball on the side, and I sweat in a food trailer, cater, and work some nights 16 plus hours at our restaurant to make sure that we employ residents, we give scholarships, we do anything that anyone in this entire county might need. And you know what else we do with that money? We pay our taxes. I'm going to close with this. Your residents and your small businesses, your farms and your ranches, we are the backbone of this county, not big tech. And as one of them, my final sentence is, I have never asked for a tax abatement. Thank you.
Okay, we have Cat Wall. So much speculation regarding data centers is out of your control. However, tax abatement is your control, and I'm requesting you deny it.
Yes, requesting you deny the tax abatement. You know, so many people have said so many great points here today. I was in the high-tech industry for years. They've got plenty of money, and there's no reason they should ask for our money, and they shouldn't ask for our natural resources. And the Chinese have a 100-year plan. If we're going to get in the same boat with the Chinese, which is what you're doing, because a lot of these have NVIDIA chips and all these semiconductors that have these big plans to go obsolete and do different things. If you're going to get in the boat with them, we need to have a 100-year plan, or don't get in the boat. And please don't give them an abatement because they can pay.
Thank you. So we have Amber Colvin, data center tax abatement.
Yes, sir. All right. So to the Leon County Commissioners Court, I come to you today asking you to do what the majority of the citizens in Leon County want. You are in that seat and in your position because of a majority vote. If you vote for a reinvestment zone and then a tax abatement, you're going against the majority and against the very people who put you on this Commissioner's Court. I've stated publicly that I will not hold you accountable for what you haven't had the opportunity to vote against. I'll stand to that. But that vote will be coming up, and you will be held accountable. You are all prominent figures in this community. Oh, I lost my spot. You are your members of your church, your song leaders, your deacons, your men of honor and integrity, You're held to a higher standard than most. And in no way should the citizens of Leon County ever be forced to shoulder the financial burden of a billion-dollar company, nor should we be forced to accept their destruction as neighbors. These companies are coming into small rural counties wanting us to foot the bill while we're out here hustling to put gas in our trucks, diesel in our tractors, and food on our tables. I consider all of you good old boys who've worked hard for your ranches, your companies, and this county. I think it's 26 years you've put into this county?
24.
24. It's amazing. The bulk of the land in these option to purchase contracts for both Marquette data centers, because there are two, was a handout. The land that was purchased, or the land that's in the option to purchase, one is daddy's money and one is granddaddy's money. It wasn't purchased with their hard-earned money. It wasn't worked for with grit, sweat, and blood, TJ, like you've put into your ranch. They're selling because a dollar means more to them than the people they leave with the aftermath, and even the people who once cared for them and taught them with their classroom. If these data centers are coming anyway, make them pay the full amount of their taxes. As a business owner, I have to pay mine. I'm certainly not given any tax breaks. Your last name should stand for something. Sullivan, Bing, Workman, Foley, and Ryder. Let those names be etched in Leon County history as the commissioners and judge who stood up against big tech and said, we aren't for sale. If you want to come here, you can pay the full price, just like everybody else does. You leave a legacy with your last name, and let it be a legacy that your children and your grandchildren can actually be proud of. Thank you.
Larry Cox, data centers, TRZ, TERS, Larry Cox here? He's
coming.
Oh, he's coming. Okay.
Where you want to stand?
Wherever, if you can talk loud, you stand right there. Whatever
I'm
you want to do.
loud, so I'll stand right here.
Okay.
I won't go over or repeat all the reasons that everybody else has given for opposing the transformative nature of this development in our county. I live about a mile and a half from where it's going to sit. It's going to be completely different. The rural residential nature of our world is going to change. I wanted to focus on a couple of things that I think the commission needs to take into account as they're deliberating here. Actually, there's two things before that. Y'all need to invest in a PA here. And we need to have this in a bigger facility. There's a lot of people outside.
That's right.
Just in case people don't know what a tax incremental reinvestment zone is, which is apparently going to be proposed here. A TRZ basically is a geographic area that the county will put on a map and come in next January 1st and say, okay, the appraised value of everything in here is X. And then over the course of development of this facility, the developer will coerce or encourage all of their affiliates, subconsultants, subcontractors, suppliers, etc., to come in and buy up land within this TRZ, and at some increment, 3 years, 5 years, and then yearly, it'll be reappraised. And the delta, the difference between the appraised value January 1 and the appraised value in the future, you know, $100 million in new construction or whatever in there, is going to be calculated. They're going to say, okay, because of us, you got all this additional taxation within this TRZ. So give us a brownie point. We're good guys. Hey, you know, this goes against our tax bill. So it's basically a double tap for all of us who live out in that area. Not only are we going to have to live with the data center in our backyard, the noise, the lights, the water competition, the traffic, all that stuff, but we're going to have to wake up every morning wondering, is the lot across the street from us, is it a new data center air conditioner repair shop? Is it a new data center lithium battery installation and maintenance shop? Is it a new data center you know, fill in the blank. There could be 10, 100, I don't know. But we don't want that. This is basically, you know, one of the reasons that we're having this discussion is because the county in the state of Texas, the county can't zone. You know, the county can't say no data centers or data centers only here or whatever. But this is really a backdoor zoning thing where there's actually lines on a map that says all the future development needs to go here. So it's just double punishment for all of us who live in that area. You know, it's going to be constant and perpetual, and again, transformative to the rural way of life. So, number one, I would say when you vote on whatever you're voting on, don't put in a TRZ. If this development happens, let the market decide where those ancillary and supplemental shops go. Let them go along I-45, along 79, let them go in Palestine, College Station, I don't care. Doesn't need to be across the road from me. The other thing is, you know, if I had my way, we could, you know, toss these guys out on their ear, never hear data center spoken again. I realize there's a good chance that's not gonna happen. So if at the end of the day, we're not successful in getting this killed, and y'all end up negotiating a payment in lieu of taxes, a pilot agreement with a developer, then I strongly encourage you not to sign off on anything until and unless you get that developer to agree to certain environmental abatement measures that they're gonna implement as part of the construction. Things like noise abatement, things like dark sky lighting, things like a recirculating water system, not a daily use system.
Mr. Cox, kind of summarize. Go ahead and summarize.
Summarize, don't do a TRZ. If you gotta do a pilot, don't do it without environmental mitigation attached. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Jamie, and I hope I said Quinn. Yeah, did I say it right? Quinn?
My name is Jamie Nakeman. I'm late to this fight. Pardon me, I just found out about it. But QRF's here and reinforcements are on the way. Everything I'll say to you here today, I've got references to back it up. So if I need to get with the appropriate officials here, take time out of your schedule, I'll do that to get all this information. Family moved here in August last year. This is our legacy. Our home was taken from us in Montgomery County. We're still having problems trying to find the PE, the guy who signed off on the flooding. You know, they build these retention ponds. Well, everything has failed and is continuing to fail. You build this thing here, you're gonna have the same problem. Data centers are failing, they've proven to fail. China, Japan, Elon Musk are looking at ways to build these things in outer space because it just cannot be sustained. It's going to steal every resource that this government, these people have. And it's gonna come quick, within 5 years. And these people here are going to file bankruptcy, they'll not clean up, and kick the can down the road. They're going to get their money back and sell to the highest bidder. They're not interested in this place here. Everyone here is taking time out from work, losing money. They're being paid to be here. I don't know one person who's for this place here is not being paid to be here. This whole county showed up, and I'm proud to be here. Guys, it took us 11 years to find this. I'm retired military. Decided to go ahead and retire early while I can. Broke my neck, lower back, 6 ribs, TBI. So it's time to retire. So we came here, all the other places. God bless Texas. That's why we're here. This county, these people who care, who busted our butts to be here. I don't know what this county stands to gain. There's no amount of taxes that can come from this. It's going to end bad. And when they do, every bad thing that comes to this town that needs to be built, throw it out there by the data center. Whatever it is, they've already driven the property value down. No one's going to want to move there. No one's going to want to build. I don't see one single positive thing coming out of this, and it's only going to get worse. 5 years, mark my words, on this day, July 13th at 10:34 hours, Jamie Nakeman said you are going to regret this. And I'll tell you, I told you so. These people are going to tell you, they told you so. Let them build somewhere else. There's tons of land, other things out there available. Don't let them come here and ruin this place. We found paradise in Texas, where I was born and raised. Don't let what happened in Montgomery County, the Port of Texas happened, what's gonna happen here. That wasn't even a data center, that was to bring in progress. We all paid for it. My parents died because they couldn't come out here to find this place. We found this place. We've got 7 other family members coming up, got our military guys like, man, we wanna get out, where do we go? Come here. We raise our own beef, we raise our own chickens, we get all of this stuff. We're in the best health that we've ever been in my life, and that's throughout my years in the military. And it's all because we do it naturally, we do it here. And one thing I try to teach my son that we needed, I was shut down on the west side of Baghdad over near Al-Assad in the Iranian border. For 2 hours we had to evade. We had celestial navigation. You know what the one thing you must have to be successful in celestial navigation? Stars. You can't do that with this kind of thing. I was told that these pads, these old pads, the lighting was going to be temporary. That's the only sky that we have looking out toward the northeast. And what do I have? These giant lights beaming up for no reason. I've been told they're temporary. Well, this August will be a year. It's temporary.
How to summarize?
So that's my time. Thank you for listening. Please vote no.
Corley Hickman, Tax Abatement Center. Corley Hickman.
Oh,
She out in the hallway? Were you signed up twice?
She already spoke.
Oh, I was gonna say, okay, all right. Jessa, Dawn, Nelson? Yes, ma'am. Tax abatement, water issue, resources, what benefits our county, necessity to pause the, data center in our beautiful state. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for letting me speak today, and also thank you, Judge, for allowing me to wear my sunglasses. I mean no disrespect. I'm a traumatic brain injury survivor. I'm struggling today. I'm nauseous. I'm in a lot of pain, but this is worth it. I'm sure I'll be paying for it extra tomorrow. A lot of people have expressed concerns about the water. As many of you know, the issues out west have been slowly creeping our way for many years. And it's just getting worse. I live in Oakwood, and there's a pipeline going through there, so I was curious as to what it was. I was just thinking it was oil or something. It's for water. They're planning to take water from our area for DFW because they don't have enough water. And now there's a man in Anderson County, and I think he has his hand in 2 other counties, with 42 water wells to pull up water from our aquifers to send to DFW and other areas that don't have enough water. So the issues that were heading our way anyway is getting drastically worse and quick. And as a lot of you know, these data centers use so much power and so much water. And this race, they need to pump the brakes. It is too quick, too fast. I don't know if any of you know, but computers way back when, the first one was 100 foot long, 8 foot tall, 3 foot deep, I want to say. Now they're in the palm of our hand.
Right.
We need to wait until they're more efficient. We need to have the technology to do this right. This is not safe. It's not okay for any of us. Like that fine gentleman, I'm a traumatic brain injury survivor, and I moved out here 10 years ago this month for peace, for fresh air, for dark skies. My skull never closed properly. They were hoping I was young enough that it would close properly. There's holes in my skull. I'm very sensitive. I hate using that word. My husband says I'm tough and I'm strong, but it doesn't mean things don't affect me in a terrible way, and that affects those around me. And it's not fair to them for me to struggle more for stress and for, I don't know if y'all know, but this area, I I looked into so much moving to this area because after I went to college for electrical power and control and robotics. I'm not against advancement in the least, even though I love this environment. It's beautiful. We live in such a unique environment here. Just earlier this year, I was an angler instructor and taught 2 classes of kids just down the road here at Fort Parker. Or not Fort Parker, that's where I used to live. Fort Boggy State Park. To teach these kids, we need to keep this beautiful, precious area we have. When I was looking into an area to live, we have a beautiful pocket of less pollution here. Less light pollution, less air pollution, and all of that's about to change. And like I said, just please pump the brakes. They're doing everything too fast.
Amen.
And I travel a lot. I've come a long way from barely being able to walk. If I had to go further than my mailbox, I needed a wheelchair. Yesterday made 12 years since my happy survival day. I was a victim of a crime and my skull was crushed in. And I do my best, but in my travels, in my running, just last month I ran an ultra marathon in our beautiful, trying to remember the mountains. Palo Pinto Mountain? No. Over there by Possum Kingdom Lake.
I've summarized.
My final point being that in my travels, I see a lot of these power lines going up to feed these data centers, and so I looked up who pays for all these power lines. That's going to show up on our electric bills. It's not worth it. I'm all for advancements, but we got to pump the brakes. We got to slow down. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Zant Tatum, money, morality, the rise of technology.
Good evening, everybody. Thank y'all for coming. We need eyes and ears on some of these issues that we've been discussing today. I'm Zant Tatum, lifetime resident here. I left for 6 years to go to school in Sam Houston. I'm back here today to explain to y'all kind of how this has all come to be. Recently, well, it's become more noticeable recently, but it's been a practice for years. Big money corporations have been pouring dollars into politicians, and now it's as clear as day as there ever has been. Even close to home, possibly even in this county. We don't know quite yet. We're on the discovery. Greg Abbott, he's received millions of dollars from pro-tech companies, data center companies, you name it. We have what we are calling is the rise of a technocracy. We're seeing these companies pour money into the White House, into the House of Representatives, into the Senate. We're seeing it. It is. It's a real thing. We have a vice president that was 2 years into his first term as a congressman, backed his whole way by a technocrat that preaches about the digital antichrist. Had the nerve to do it in the Vatican City. His name's Peter Thiel. You can look him up. Had one of the biggest AI companies in the world. They are pushing their agenda everywhere. Top, down, it's here. And it's unfortunate that a lot of people didn't know about the fire they had planned till they smelt the smoke. But we're here today to talk about this. The rise of technocracy and what it means for people like us. We're seeing institutions such as these, big wealthy institutions, come here looking for handouts, while we have community members that are ancestrally tied to this land. People that have served, people that have paid their dues, vested their lives, their money, whether for wars to protect our freedom, they work, they pay taxes. The reality is, why do they deserve a break? You people are vested. Why are your taxes not going down? Why are we cutting corners and red tape for people that have come to the potluck with nothing to eat and only seek to take off your plate? Why are we supporting this? Why? Why would we? I haven't heard one good reason. We need data. We need cell phones. I'm a young man. I'm 27, but I'm old enough to remember when we called data centers libraries. It's a real thing. It's crazy. You know? Look how far we've came. Look how far we've came down. We rise these people up to support them and to support us. And we have the ability to let go of that support and let them hang where they lay. We need to force our opinions, our ideas, our belief in rural lifestyle and protectionism on this. I'm pro-progress, pro-advancement, but it needs to be meaningful.
Yeah.
It needs to be worth it.
Kind of summarize.
The summary is that we haven't seen a whole lot of support out of this group, this kangaroo court. We really haven't. We've heard the pandering and political posturing. They're here for their political ideas to get benefits out of them. All they're here to do is to screw you over. That's the thing. Little known fact, sodomy is illegal in Texas, but not if you do it in politics. You can get them any way you want. You roll out the paper, you roll out the money, they'll spread them. They'll do it.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you. Paul Lutteringer. Paul Lutteringer.
Paul?
He around? Nope. Okay.
There's still people in Paul.
Well, they're out there. Can somebody ask the people out in the hall if Paul Lutteringer is there? You coming? Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
First time here, so be kind to me. I'm just going to be blunt on a few things. As far as this proposed development, y'all got the power to stop it or at least maximize the opportunity. I think y'all know that. The other thing to think about is how this is going to impact the people that currently live there. They're going to be around this development if it does go through. Y'all should hold harmless to those folks. That should be one of your primary jobs for the county, is to take care of the people. Wasn't inside here, so I'm sure there's been lots of other questions. I have a lot of them, but I'm not going to go into that too much. Main thing to think about is those things. There's, like I said, y'all have some things at your disposal to not do this or prevent it or maximize the opportunity. So I would say no, we shouldn't do this. Or we should definitely not give them a tax abatement. They want it. They got $34 million to build this thing. They ought to be able to pay the taxes. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Hey, Robbie Peterson. Groundwater, fish, wildlife concerns.
Am I good right here?
You're good. You sit right.
Judge, commissioners, thank you for your time this morning. Louder for those in the back, because there's a bunch in the back, and I know that our tax dollars built this really cool facility that would have seating and air conditioning and a PA system. Shame we can't use it. Groundwater, wildlife, fish, cattle, all of that's already sort of been touched on. Remind your friends and your family and people that live in the metropolitan areas of this state and across the country, we're producing their cattle too, and they like steak. So it's not just about the rural impact, it affects everybody, everywhere. We grow their vegetables, we raise their cattle, we raise their chicken. They all have to keep eating. If they think that it only affects us out here as country bumpkins, they're wrong. And so everybody should have a say in this. You know, we're obviously making a great showing. You obviously all have to feel that we're not real happy about this type of movement. And for everybody that thinks this is about ordering on Amazon or using a smartphone, that's not it, guys. These data centers are a completely different animal. They have nothing to do with our day-to-day ability to communicate with our family and friends and neighbors. The other thing I'd say is to my neighbors, go get your water tested, get a baseline, because the minute this starts going sideways, we need a leg to stand on to sue these guys for ruining our lives. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. Mike Glick, tax abatement and investment zone.
I think Mike's outside.
He is.
He's in the hallway, I think, he was.
Can someone call Mike Glick, please? He left.
Yeah? Okay. Rachel Streeter?
Thanks for having me today. I'm wanting to back up a little bit and speak about not just the data centers, but the infrastructure that holds them, because I live right next to a high voltage power line and a solar farm that has taken thousands of acres. And I just want to report what I see right now is roads that are a complete disaster and not safe in my opinion. Animals dead all over because they've been displaced. Rocks loose because they haven't completed resurfacing the roads, just dangerous conditions on Highway 3 where I live. And if you look one road over, 977, it's beautiful just like it's always been. No dead animals, roads not messed up. So that's just one thing I've noticed. Another thing I want to report back on is that I ended up in the ER. Health complications. I've had a doctor, I've had an environmental specialist, and I've had a nurse all say that my symptoms point to environmental factors. Now, I know this solar farm is not active yet. They're under construction. They have 2 solar farm complexes and a BESS, and whether it's related or not, I don't know, but I can't pinpoint anything else that's different in my life. So I'm just sharing what I'm experiencing right now, and I want y'all to know with transparency what I see. Now, when it comes to the data centers, I don't have a problem with you guys coming in and doing what you want to with your land, but when it goes past the fence line, if you've scaled up too large and your noise and your light pollution and your hums start affecting us, me, it's not okay. Bring them in, but let them scale back to the point that they have enough land around them that maybe it doesn't affect us negatively. I don't know the answer to this, but I'm just speaking on my experience, my concern. And thank you again for having us. I would ask that you do not rezone and do not offer tax abatements. Maybe talk about deposits. Ask for money. Can they give us more money for our county to cover medical expenses? Could they cover damage to the water and remediation to the soil, or loss of cattle if we end up not having calves down the road because they're too stressed out? I don't know. But that's just, yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Okay, is there anybody that I have not called that was supposed to speak? Okay, I just want to tell you, thank you very much for coming. We've heard all your comments and questions, and we take it very seriously. Again, I want to apologize for this room. I tried to find a bigger room. I apologize. I did not think of the of our courtroom upstairs in the old courthouse. I'll be honest with you. I did think about the district courtroom, and it was being used. So that was the extent of my thinking, I guess, and I messed up. But anyway, I just want to let you know that it wasn't.
Double check that no one else outside thought they had a public comment before moving on.
Would anybody check and make sure people are outside, do not want to speak? Good.
I was gonna speak, but I didn't get paper filled out.
That's all right, come on up here. That's fine. Go ahead, we're waiting. Go ahead.
There was one lady that just said she was a little upset that she couldn't hear anything.
Okay.
And we let them know that you're talking
I-
about that, right?
Again, I apologize for that, I really do.
I didn't come here to speak today, Judge, originally, and I decided to. I, for one, don't believe that this is kangaroo court. I know each and every one of you personally. And I know where you came from, I knew where you grew up, because I did with most of you. Joy, you and me went to school together and graduated right here at Centerville. My parents and your parents were friends, went to church together, and I know you as a person. Mr. Bean, I don't know you quite as well, but if you check my name, you'll know that my parents and your parents were close friends.
Yes, sir.
Very close, worked together, very close, long-time friends. Byron, Judge, known you all your life and you've known me all your life. We played, before T-ball, we played Pee Wee, Little League, Junior High, high school. We played competition, all of it. You know, we had some battles. You won some, we won some. And that's Centerville and Buffalo. Mr. Workman, I don't know you that well, but I've heard good things about you. I believe you're an honest, good man. I really do. I wouldn't stand up here and say it if I didn't. TJ, you know how far we go back. One of my former students. One of the best kids come through, Leon. Look out here. 2 of my former students already spoke today. I see neighbors, friends, family, everything else out here. Like I said, I didn't come here to speak, but I got compelled to speak. And yes, this data center does affect me. The 700 acres that was sold, my place backs up to in Marquay, Texas. My family came to Marquay, Texas in 1853. Been here all my life. When I left here, I knew where I wanted to come back to be, and that was Marquay, Texas. So this is a little bit passionate for me. My daddy, on the place I live on now, 180 acres, where I live right now that backs up to this place, like so many others out there and so many other parents, when the time was called to serve his country in World War II, he signed up and he went along with all his brothers, and he served. He got out of the military in 1945. He took his GI Bill and he bought the land that I live on, the 180 acres that backs up to the data center. Are y'all the data center guys? I kind of figured that out. I'm not smart, but I'm smart enough to do that. Anyway, so I'm living on what I consider a legacy of my family. My daddy served his country that I can live where I live today. And I want to be able, I have committed my life long before y'all came in the picture to preserve the legacy of my land. And that's what I'm trying to do. Now, just last week, and I'll close with this, Judge. Just last week, you know, I heard that the land behind me, 700 acres, had sold for, I've heard, I don't have entire proof of it, but it's pretty common knowledge, for $50,000 an acre. That's $35 million to 700 acres to another one of my former students. And I understand he's got to do what he's got to do. But I got a text saying recently, last week, said, which I respect, he said, no disrespect, Mr. Wynn, but if you feel like your land is going to be devalued because of the data center, I'll offer you $10,000 an acre. Well, you know, I guess I could sell to y'all for 50. But you don't have enough money to buy my property, do you? priceless to me. It's not a dollar, and it's not about the data center, it's not about anything with y'all. And if you go in, I'll be a good neighbor, because that's the way I was raised, to be a good neighbor. And if you do go in, I hope and pray to God that you will be a good neighbor and a good steward of this country.
Thank you. Again, thank y'all all for coming and do what?
They couldn't hear.
Okay, come on in.
You can stand here.
Hold on, I need to get a name. I need
Yeah,
to
need-
There were probably 40 of us or so, 40 or 50 out in the hall that missed the whole thing. And so I started Googling, and I think it's illegal to proceed without everyone having access to hear and see, and that bothers everybody out in the hall. Hi, Judge Ryder. And so I just wanted to, well, I didn't really want to come in here at all, but I guess I'm it, and I hate that. I'm very disappointed in our government. And I think it's illegal, and I don't want to be the one saying it, but it's not right. That's it. We just want to see it here.
Is that right? Okay, we're gonna go into the agenda. We'll go to number 6. Discuss probably take action on application by Crusoe Technologies LLC for tax abatement and designated reinvestment zone. And those other two, I didn't. Y'all ready for a presentation? Yep. Do what? What do you want? We already passed the point over turn now. They've already left. Hey, Keith, come here a minute. I don't think, is that right?
What?
That we conducted an illegal meeting?
No.
It's because they couldn't hear.
We have to do our best to be accommodating. And that's why we moved over here to begin with, is because we were having too much difficulty over there. To the extent we know that there's larger groups, so we try to accommodate, but we don't have any obligation to like stream or anything like that. Nobody was purposely excluded. We made effort to make sure everyone could hear it. So that's why it's not illegal, but we should always try, we want it to be as open as possible.
That's what I'm trying to do by trying to.
Right.
I'm be honest, I did not think of that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not, it doesn't violate the open meeting. If y'all are concerned that people are not being able to adequately get this information. Right. I mean, we approve budgets and everything else, right? Like, what, the only thing else would be.
No matter what
I mean, we can say, they're gonna be in a bind. I don't know if you're supposed to take the same time off. If we want to give an emergency to just discuss these issues. The real threshold is that we're not doing anything to exclude them. It's just overcrowded. And there was still, people showed up. At a certain point, they can't overwhelm us and make us make it. We just have to accommodate best we can.
And we have. Why? I don't care. I mean, if y'all want to go rummage around and find chairs.
I mean, the thing is, we can't move at this point.
Right, no, we can't.
But if we wanted to do an emergency, we can go through the notice provisions for that and set it up in the whole court on that.
Can we do this? Can we adjourn this meeting and take it to the commissioner's court?
No.
Not now.
No, it is noticed here.
I know, but I mean, even though it's noticed here, we still put out a sign that says,
That would be one, I would not legally suggest doing that. If we're gonna reset it, we should reset it we should not move just in case anyone comes in an hour later and they were like, oh, they tried to hide the ball.
Okay, so
Even though it's all being streamed, you know what I'm saying? Whatever works for y'all, I don't know.
what do y'all want, Joey? What do you Paul want to do?
Trying to slide everything forward.
Stop the meeting, reset the meeting.
More in, so they have more.
He just told us we're not illegal. We can bring the chairs from the hallway.
Chatting amongst yourselves outside.
What?
So close the door. So if they're gonna be out there and think they're part of the meeting, then you be quiet. I think we're trying to push it
Can I have your attention, please? Hello?
I'm gonna make a motion that we take a 5-minute recess and bring in some more chairs for this presentation.
We're gonna want to take a brief recess. We're gonna try and move these tables so that we can push the chairs up so that we can accommodate more folks the best we can. We can't move the meeting once it's been noticed here. So we could move it over to another place. But this is such public concern, we're gonna try and figure out how to accommodate best we can.
Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
And we made one online, Q&A for the people presenting. That is on the Q&A and the people presenting there. But they sign up for public comment too. Yes. It's funny enough.
Chairs out the hallway.
Oh, I got it.
I'm just trying to get out. Get
I'll be calling my way through.
We had to get out.
Are y'all gonna stand here?
Yeah, we are.
Can I put this here?
Yeah, what's it for? Just
A microphone so people can
no,
hear
I
it?
understand. Yeah, is it to project out here?
No, it's for the
That's fine, I understand. You're good, man. I just give just a hair bit more room there, just so I can slide back a bit.
But anyway, so if you're gonna,
They're going more technical. Expression better.
Oh my gosh.
We haven't figured out the exact infrastructure that needs to be in place. Is that what you're asking?
Sorry about that.
Years ago, my brother was in Watershed, you know, and I lived, that's where I get up my water. But that aquifer, I'll bet you that the Concord, Robbins, Concord, water system, years ago, they had 140 They incorporated 3 or 4 that weren't any good. One from Centerville, the over around.
Yeah. So we're Jack, great meeting you. Yeah, so we're working with Concord Robbins.
I've seen things on TV that pointed out.
There's one right here. Come on in. Get a chair.
Aquifers have been drained.
3 chairs right
What
here.
y'all
Somebody
doing?
stand it. Nita, there's chairs here.
Because they say that y'all will use
There's chairs right here.
probably millions, in excess of 1 million gallons of water a day. That's just turned down.
And we'll walk into the water usage throughout our presentation. But that usage is not during operations. Our operations is about an immense fraction of that because we do a closed loop system. And so our total usage a day, but for one of our buildings typically ranges in the 4,000 gallons to 5,000 gallons. And so we have a different system, a different type of system. We'll talk about that.
Because in Texas, like I've got 130 acres. That water under mine, if it goes bad, goes gone, all would be responsible. It would be that way all over. The area is
We can't speak for what anyone else is doing, but we will show you we are not going to be a drain on a system that's going to impact your water. Can't speak for anyone else, so can't speak for oil and gas, can't speak for this project.
We're gonna go back into the session. Please everybody, be a little patient with us. All right. We're gonna start with number 6. Discuss notification of application for Crisco Technologies LLC for the tax abatement in the designated reinvestment fund. And I'll turn it over to Crusoe at this time. So go ahead.
It's what? I think it's Michael. Okay, can we move it?
Hi, good morning, everyone. First, I want to start by just thanking everyone for the opportunity to be here. Commissioner's Court, Judge, thank you. We appreciate you all coming out to listen to us and talk to us. We know it's Monday morning. We know you guys